Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm making this dog feeding station, and if you're like me, you're all about convenience, and that's the motivation behind this build. The minute the door is open, a battery power light is activated by a limit switch, and this makes it convenient to feed the dog either late at night or early in the morning. To begin this build, I start by using a few pieces of scrap wood to mimic the situation so that I have a good idea on how high I want the box to be. Once I figured that out, I then ran a sheet of plywood through my table saw. Using this crosscut jig I made a few weeks ago, I'm going to use that to cut the plywood down into small sections. My first cut will be for the back. My second cut will be for the side. My third cut will be for the opposite side. My fourth cut will be for the bottom. And the fifth cut will be for the top. I marked all the locations for my pocket hole joineries, and then I proceeded to drill all the pocket holes. With all the holes being drilled, now I can start the assembly. The top have a 1-inch overhang, and if I can go back and redo this, I will probably make it 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Before screwing it down, I want to make sure the cabinet is centered on the top. I'm going to use this piece of wood as a stop for the top portion of the cabinet. To attach this piece of wood, I drilled a few holes, countersink them, and using framing screws to secure it in place. Now that the box is complete, I moved on to cutting the drawer slide. I attached the drawer slide and the track inside the cabinet. Lining the door can be a little tricky, but I find moving the door to the side just a bit and marking it on the door panel seems to work out just fine. I use pocket hole joinery to join the bottom of the drawer to the face of the door. I also use this L bracket to give it a little more strength on the top side. I use weight to hold the bows in place as I traced out the outer lip. Drill out a few pilot holes and let the jigsaw do the work. Originally, this design was supposed to be plain, but the more and more I looked at it, I realized there's no way I'll be able to sleep at night if I leave it like this, so I decided to add some trim to it. I find it easier to screw the trim together and then attach it to the door. And now I can finish nailing all the trims on from the inside. With my trim router, I took off a slight corner from the top. I did not want it to be too round. I found these rubber bumpers which I plan to use as the feet to the dog feeding station, which actually worked out very well. I drilled out the screw holes for the cabinet pull handle. I prefer to do this prior to putting the finish on the product. I use wood filler to patch the nail holes prior to sanding. So I didn't get the overall finish that I had the desire for, and that was because I actually forgot a step, and that's when you're dealing with soft wood, you're supposed to add a conditioner prior to staining, and I didn't do that. So when I wiped it off, you will see the effect that you get. You get two different kind of color botchy look, and at this point it's pretty tough to fix because the stain already sitting inside the wood and it's tough to remove. However, I don't get too down on myself when a mistake like this happens. Just keep it moving and try to think of a solution as I'm working. Now in this case, my solution was just put on a thicker layer of stain, which actually worked out fine, and I'm totally happy with it. So as I wrap up the paint job, I gave that time to dry, and then I moved on to the finishing touches of the top. And using 300 grit sandpaper, I actually got this idea to just sand off the corner of the top, which gave me this light line, which I actually like. To help protect the top from water and hard scratches, I went with a Hellsman urethane finish, which is easily applied with a brush, and a couple layer of this would do the trick. The paint's dry, the top's dry, and now I can install the pull handle. And last but not least, I have this battery powered light which I plan to install, and how this works is when the door opens, the light turns on. So all you need for this project is 2 pieces of wire, a limit switch, and a battery powered light. Now to attach your wire to the limit switch, you would need a spade connector such as this one. Since the light I'm using in this tutorial is not the current one that I plan to use for this project, I'm going to rig it together to give you the concept. On this limit switch, you have 3 prongs sticking off, a common, a normally opening, and a close. We want to tie the wire on a common and a normally close. Now to dress up the wire, take a small screwdriver, wrap the wire around many times, pull it off, and you will get a nice spring look. To make this work, the metal strip on the battery cap needs to be taped off. Now strip and tape the copper wire in place so that the bare copper can make connection with the battery. Now install the battery cap, and it doesn't matter which wire goes where. The way this works, it's pretty simple. When the door is closed, it's off. When it's open, it's on. To install the limit switch, I use tape to hold the nail in place while I use the hammer. Hey, this is another one in the books. Guys, thanks for watching this video. My name is Glenn, and I will catch you guys on the next one.